This is my Polygon Xtrada 6 that hasn't been touched for 9 months. And the reason why is right here. This is actually my wife's bike, and now that she's had the baby, it's time to upgrade this bike so we can both shed the baby weight. Well, here it is. And man, this is stripped down all the way to the frame, if that gives you any idea what we're doing today. I've actually put the D7 back to stock and sold it, and I put both Polygon Siskiyou D5s back to stock and gave those away to family. And I'm left with a ton of leftover parts. So I'm gonna be upgrading this bike with, dare I say, the parts bin?
That's f***ing illegal.
So there's gonna be a ton of upgrades that I put on this budget hardtail that kind of don't make any sense, but look at it as a placeholder. Let's get started. Man, this bike is already looking super overkill. And if you've been a Saga Squad member for any amount of time, you'll start to notice some of these parts. The drivetrain is off the low bike and the brakes are off my D7, but the fork, you might not have gotten a good look at it, but the fork, man, it's so overkill. I'm putting on the Fox 34 Stepcast, an $1,100 fork off an $800 bike. My wife is gonna love this bike. But next up are the wheels. The back wheel is coming off the low bike. It's a spank wheel that I built up, and the front wheel is a nuke-proof Horizon that came off my Polygon D7. And the tires aren't really appropriate for this cross-country style bike, so I'm gonna be using these Vittoria tires that came off the Vitus Nucleus 2 years ago. And I haven't even used them in a year and a half, so I'm not too sure if they're even gonna be good anymore. So let's add some sealant and see if they hold. Oops. There we go. Well, so far so good. They seated well, but the only problem is the tires feel a little bit dry. So I'm definitely a little bit worried. But the cool thing about this wheel set is this is boost spacing. 141 quick release, but it's still boost spacing. So this is gonna be a super serious hardtail when I'm done with it. But I'm running out of time and I gotta swap these rotors and get the show on the road. Well, things are coming along pretty smoothly, but I've had a casualty. This bike stand that I've been using almost the whole entire time with my channel is broken. It's officially done. It's kicked the bucket. This feedback stand sucks, and yeah, I use it more than, you know, the casual person, but I should have bought the more expensive one. And that's usually how it goes. But next up, the brakes. You gotta bleed these brakes because it's been so long, and man, let me know if you guys hate bleeding brakes as much as I do, but let's get this going. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought, but I did actually buy some new parts for this bike too. I got some pedals, I got a brand new seat, I got some grips, and it wouldn't be a complete build with all these fancy parts without a dropper post. And yes, this is a 27.2 dropper, so it only goes up to 125 millimeters, but it's better than nothing, and it's super lightweight. So let's do this internal cable routing one more time. And with that, there's only one thing left to do, and that's stare at it.
That's f***ing illegal.
No, I'm just kidding. It's actually time to heat shrink this tubing, one of the most satisfying things in the world. And with that, the bike is complete. The total price of the bike, if everything was purchased at retail price, would be $3,629. And the total weight of the bike is 28 pounds, super lightweight. And if you want to pick up this bike, it's on sale for $850, or you can get the through axle version for $999. But I am loving the way that this bike turned out. It kind of looks like a Niner Surge to me for some reason. Oh, hey honey, how do you like your bike?
Oh, wow.
Oh shoot, is that the movers?